it's such a hard road ahead for ad tech, and digital media is so challenged, and publishers are dying, and all this sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the future is bleak, get out while you can, that kind of thing. And I know it's probably less fun for you and this podcast,
Sure.
but I'm an optimist.
Hey,
I'm
let's
not.
go.
I'm not here to
No,
like
I'm a
share any
fan.
like yes.
Well,
I'm
look,
an optimist.
at the end of the day,
Yes.
people are going to buy things and people are going to consume content on the internet, and there's going to be interesting ways to help guide those conversations. And, I don't think advertising is as old as ancient Egypt, if you can believe it. The very first advertising was a papyrus in Egypt, so I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And
Yes.
this technology will continue to change. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Ad Podcast. We are here with Michael Lehman, who is the president of Equativ at the Possible Show in Miami. Michael, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you. Am I doing this correctly? Is this
Yeah,
working?
whatever.
All right,
It's you can put it here, but
the green light is on.
The
and
green
we're working.
green
Okay.
light means go.
Okay.
So, Michael, tell people a little bit about yourself and what does Equativ do? Where does it sit in the marketplace? And what are you guys up to this week?
Yes, very cool. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
I am 1 weekend, 8 days.
Wow, let's
So
go.
it is the perfect opportunity for
Breaking
me
news.
to tell you all about the business. I have it all figured out at this point. So my background is I've been in this space in ad tech and this thing for 15 years at this
Let's
point.
go. Yeah.
And I got into this space right as the industry was, real-time bidding was being born.
Yeah.
So I moved into the space, real-time bidding was
Birth
being
of
born.
Programmatic.
That's right. I joined a company that was formerly known as the Rubicon Project.
Yeah, I remember
For
that.
the sort of historians of ad tech, and that was my start, and I spent 6 years there. Spent 8.5 years at a company called Triple Lift.
Them too. Yeah.
From Triple Lift, I went to Nativo, and then I found my way to Equativ. So my career has always been in the sort of what you might call the sort of transactional layer of ad tech, the tech that sits in between buyers and publishers. And I've been very lucky in my career. I've been part of a bunch of winners, a bunch of successful companies. I've worked with incredible people. I've seen a lot of change in the industry, and also I've seen a lot of these industry cycles. And I'm here at Possible, and I think the theme coming into this week and a lot of what we've sort of generally been seeing in the news and the press is how it's such a hard road ahead for ad tech, and digital media is so challenged, and publishers are dying, and all this sort of thing, right? Like the future is bleak, get out while you can, that kind of thing. And I know it's probably less fun for you and this podcast,
Sure.
but I'm an optimist.
Hey,
I'm
let's
not
go.
here to
No, I'm a
share any
fan.
yes.
Well,
I'm
look,
an optimist.
at the end of the day,
Yes.
people are going to buy things and people are going to consume content on the internet, and there's going to be interesting ways to help guide those conversations. And, I don't think advertising is as old as ancient Egypt, if you can believe it. The very first advertising was a papyrus in Egypt, so I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And
Yes.
this technology will continue to change. But
Yes.
what do you think is driving that perceptive headwinds? Is it AI is going to replace the need for a lot of technology, a lot of people? What do you think is driving, some of those perceived headwinds, and why are you bullish in the other direction?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. But I think the two main factors that are giving people pause are just the global economy and the uncertainty of the economy. And last year was sort of a challenging year. This year, obviously, there are a lot of global events that are giving people pause. The stock market, although it's sort of come all the way back now, has been very volatile. Like these sort of things give investors pause, they give marketers concern, right? And I think what we've seen over the past 2 years is that when there's uncertainty in the market, people just don't do anything. And I think that's what really paralyzes business is uncertainty. Like when the markets are troubled or bad, there's a strategy for that. When the markets are frothy and things are growing, there's a strategy for that. When people don't know what the global economy or sort of the sort of state of the world is going to look like in 3 months or 6 months, then everything just pauses. And I think as an industry, we've had to sort of fight our way through that. So that's been a challenge. But yeah, and then the other part is AI, which I'm sure like everybody who comes on this show is telling you they're trying to sort out. And what I would say about AI is it's here.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
Genie's out of the bottle.
The genie's out of the bottle, and it's going to change the landscape. It's possible, and I'm not like an expert in this capacity, but as I sort of study what the analytics say, and start to develop my own POV, it's possible that like the effect that AI is going to have on the industry is going to be overblown. It's also quite possible, however, that like some of what we've seen in our space over the past 10 or 15 years that has actually like not been good for digital media, like how, for instance, the advent of programmatic and the growth of programmatic
kind of created a race to the bottom on rates.
Exactly.
And,
like premium publishers who are at this conference are not fans of programmatic advertising.
Well, there's not many premium publishers here for that reason.
Well, exactly right.
Because,
exactly
at the end of the day, those that still can book direct business are doing so because they sit with some type of interesting content opportunities generally that are built around video and IP and maybe talent that's exclusive to them or some way. But if you're just talking about inventory, it's pretty hard to get direct fill anymore.
Exactly. I think that's right. But I think to that point, you could see a world where the effect that AI has on small and medium publishers actually in a lot of ways can benefit premium publishers, right? Because this is still an enormous market. To your point, there's still a lot of ad dollars out there. But if eyeballs aren't going to small and medium publishers, like where are advertisers going to find those audiences? And I think there's a realistic scenario where that money finds its way back into premium environments. And a lot of what has challenged publishers over the past 10 years and has put them even further behind the 8 ball as it relates to competing with walled gardens could start to be reversed a little bit. And I think that's a very realistic and optimistic view of the future of the space. And I think it's something that companies need to begin to plan around.
Do you think publishers should maybe abandon the idea of leveraging social as a way to drive traffic to their own O's because there's higher margins there, and they should be thinking about their social feeds more as a community and an audience to grow that they can monetize through brand deals and YouTube you can generate revenue, but a lot of the integrations that I'm seeing that are $500,000 plus deals are social first, they're creator first, they have live events tied to it, they have some type of maybe like physical product in the real world. They're very non-native or non-digital in a lot of ways.
What I would say is, having worked with publishers for over a decade at this point, is that abandoning any strategy is generally not a good idea. I think like so I think like what a publisher needs to be thinking about as it like plots its strategy for the next 3 to 5 to 10 years is a diverse strategy focused on diversifying revenue streams and not relying entirely on ad dollars.
Subscription,
events where possible, coordinating with other publishers, applications of data, and of course social as well. So I think abandoning any strategy is not necessarily a good idea. I think you want to sort of not put your eggs all in one basket and look for opportunities where the market presents them.
So 7 days in, what was the exciting opportunity to jump over here to Equativ? What do you think they're going to be a winner?
I think Equativ has enormous growth ahead of it.
Yeah.
I really do. I've admired the business for a long time. So I've, as I mentioned, I've been in this space. And it's an interesting company because it's come together through layers of acquisitions. So, most recently the company had acquired ShareThrough. That was 2 years ago.
I remember them. Yeah, they're like old school native video.
Old school native advertising, yes. Like a really strong sales organization, really strong end-to-end platform, really strong creative capabilities. But the Equativ business started as an ad server, a European-based ad server. And then over the course of the subsequent 15 years, innovated consistently, did a number of acquisitions, has all of these really compelling assets, all of this technology, has a really strong investment that's been made in AI. So I've watched this company sort of piece together its story over the course of the past few years. And candidly, my view on the business was just like, why aren't more people talking about Equativ? I kept seeing the company on all of these sort of top industry lists from a scale standpoint, from a partnership standpoint with holdcos and agencies, and yet there seemed to be like not a big enough reputation. Like the optics around the business weren't entirely there.
It's that European modesty.
Maybe it might be. And maybe we can learn something from that, honestly. But I think ultimately, like, I'm a commercial leader. That's my background. And so, what I look for are opportunities where the infrastructure of the business is excellent, the product is excellent, but maybe there's that delta. Maybe like the market doesn't fully realize it yet. And when you see that, that's a significant opportunity for upside. And that's what I see at the business. That's why I'm here. I want to help the company capture that upside, help the market understand what the business is, how valuable it can be, how to apply the tech, We want to help the industry shape its POV on a lot of these things we've been talking about. So I'm very bullish.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So obviously Possible is a major stop on the campaign trail, so to speak, nowadays.
Yeah.
It's, some call it the North American can.
Yeah.
How important is this event to your marketing calendar now? How do you show up where there's a lot of people vying for agency and brand attention?
Yeah, it's hugely important. I mean, clearly, and I've been really impressed by our marketing team and our effort at this event. We have a cabana. We have 40 people down here, maybe 30 people, 30 or 40. There's a lot of people on the invites, that I can tell you.
Yeah.
So we have a big group here, and what I've heard from the team and what I experienced in my other roles is that this, whether you want to compare it to Cannes or not, is just kind of like a can't miss event.
Yeah.
It's if you want to achieve the kind of things I'm talking about, which is have the market recognize who you are, have the market find you to be a relevant player, connect with the appropriate people, particularly more senior level folks, this is a place you absolutely have to be. And so we're investing heavily here. We invest in Cannes, obviously, particularly with the French leadership. To your point,
right.
It's like their Super Bowl. They just,
they can't. Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah. So we're heavy in Cannes.
Yeah.
We're heavy here. It's hugely important to us.
Let's go. Well, I'm wishing you good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
A few weeks in, I'm sure you'll be successful at it. If folks at home want to follow up with your thought leadership or learn more, where do you want to send them?
To my LinkedIn profile, I guess.
Hey, let's do it. We'll put it in the show notes.
I've never been asked that question. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, I would encourage folks to go to the Equativ website, study the business, reach out if they're interested in learning more, and we can talk.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, very
Cheers.
cool. Okay.